أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي آمين يا رب وبعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. You are watching part 3, beginner's level, and we are starting lesson 5. In this lesson, inshallah, we'll be talking about Tanween. And Tanween is represented by this Fathah Tanween and the Kasra Tanween and the Dhamma Tanween. And we say it like an, un, in. And I know some sisters will say this is a very simple idea. We always read, this an, un, in. It's very familiar and we know what it is. But subhanallah, inshallah, I will surprise you with some when we dissect the Tanween and have a look at what the Tanween actually is and the rules that are attached to the Tanween. And inshallah, I think it's necessary to include these rules now. I think they are a little bit more towards the intermediate advanced lessons, but inshallah, I think it's good to include it now as we are transitioning and moving on towards part 4. So inshallah, in this lesson we will be talking about the meaning, types and different shapes of Tanween, the stopping rule for Fathah Tanween, and this rule is called Mad Ewadh. It's known as the compensation mad. And inshallah we'll read and take examples from Surah An-Naba and Surah Al-Balad. The next video is a bonus lesson, how to read a word ending with Tanween followed by a sakin letter. And this lesson is very important. Again, it's related to Tanween. It's a rule which occurs many times in the Qur'an, and in my experience, 90%, more than 90% of the sisters are unaware of this rule. It's a very important rule, and especially in the Uthmani script, it's not written, it's not clear. So if you don't know this rule, you would be reading it incorrectly, and it appears twice in Surah Al-Kahf alone. So it's a very important rule. I thought I would teach it as a separate lesson so you could focus and make notes and give it some extra time with that alone, inshallah. But in this lesson, inshallah, we definitely will be learning some new ideas related to Tanween. So inshallah, have your pens ready and please do make notes and start applying what you learn, inshallah ta'ala, and do comment, and any suggestions are welcome, inshallah. So let's start. The meaning, types and different shapes of Tanween. Bismillah. Tanween. The meaning of Tanween, it is a noon sakina that occurs at the end of nouns. Except for 2 verbs in the Qur'an, a noon sakina occurs at the end of nouns, so it's attached to nouns and it's actually a noon sakina. And I want you to make a note of this. This is the first thing I want you to make a note of, that Tanween is a noon sakina. Types of Tanween. There are 3 types of Tanween: Tanween Fathah, Tanween Kasra, Tanween Dhamma. And these are the symbols that are given. So the Tanween Fathah looks like this, the ban here with the ba, ban, Tanween Kasra, bin, and Tanween Dhamma, bun, like this. And if you dissect it, if you see what it actually is it's a ba with a Fathah and a noon sakin. So it's actually, this actually is written with this symbol. Okay, so when we look at this, when we look at the Fathah Tanween, when you see this symbol, then this should actually come into your mind. And it's important for you to note this, because when we talk about a Tanween, it should occur to you that it is a noon sakin at the end. Therefore, the word is ending as a sakin letter. Okay, so the word is ending with a sakin letter. Okay, because inshallah, the next video, the rule we will look at, this will be very important to understand first. Okay, so ban is actually a ba with a Fathah and a noon sakin at the end. Bin is a kasratain. It's a ba with a kasra and a noon sakin at the end. And a ba with a dhamma tanween is a ba with a dhamma and a noon sakin at the end. The way of pronunciation, the tanween always comes at the end of the word, so never in the start or in the middle. So the way the tanween is pronounced is like a noon sakina at the end of a word. Okay, because a tanween has a noon sakin at the end. Shapes of tanween in the Qur'an. Bismillah. A tanween can be written in 3 ways in the Quranic text. So tanween shapes, they could appear like this. So the tanween fathah, tanween kasra, and tanween dhamma, it can appear like this in this group. And this is also one way the tanween can be written in this group. And also in this last group, you can see the fathah tanween. One of the fathah has been replaced with a meme, and one kasra has been replaced with a meme, and one dhamma has been replaced with a meme. And this is because in each group, each way it's written, the pronunciation of the tanween, the noon sound, is going to be different. Okay, and that is due to the letter that is coming after and the rule that we have to apply. And inshallah, when we look at the rules of noon sakin and tanween in part 4, inshallah, these symbols will make more sense. And these symbols, if you remember, these signs and symbols in the Uthmani script are there to help you remember and apply the rules. Okay, to recognize and apply the rules. Okay, and that's what they are there for. So it's good to have a look at these and try to understand and recognize them, inshallah. If you notice here these words with the tanween, again you can see the tanween looks different in each case. All of these are fathah tanweens, but depending on the letter that's coming after, the tanween fathah looks different in each case. Now moving on to the first rule, inshallah, bismillah. Whenever you see a fathah tanween, if you notice here, every time there is a fathah tanween in this group, you would see an alif mad attached next to it. Okay, so this is the first thing that you have to remember, have to note. Whenever there is a fathah tanween, the letter will have an alif mad attached next to it. And you can see in these examples, you can see qaf with the fathah tanween has an alif mad, and ayn with the fathah tanween has an alif mad, and the ba with the fathah tanween has an alif mad attached. And it's not the case for the kasra tanween, you can see, and also the dhamma tanween. There is no alif. Okay, except for hamza, you would sometimes see the alif. It appears with the alif sometimes and sometimes not. But the same rule I will tell you now, inshallah, applies for all of the letters. Okay, what we have to do is whenever you stop on a word with a fathah tanween, what you have to do is we have to read it with one fathah, and we compensate the fathah with the alif mad, and we give it a 2 count. Like the mad tabi'i, it follows the count of mad tabi'i, so we extend it 2 counts. So the way we would read if we stop on this word would be khalqa, sab'a, turaba. Okay, because as you know, the rule is every time you stop on a word in Arabic, we have to put a sukoon at the end. But in the case of a fathah tanween, we have to apply the rule of mad iwadh and compensate it with the alif mad at the end that is attached. And that is why there is an alif mad attached to every letter which has a fathah tanween. In the case of a ta marbuta, this ta marbuta here, this ta marbuta doesn't matter what haraka is on it, even if it has a fathah tanween, we will always read this as a ha. And this is the rule for the ta marbuta. This ta marbuta is a closed ta. So this one, when you stop, it will always become a ha. Like wajifah, you stop on it, khashi'ah, hamiyah. Okay, and it doesn't matter if it's a fathah kasra or a dhamma tanween, whichever. Even if it has a fathah tanween, we still would not use the alif mad. There is never an alif mad attached next to it. So we will read Surah An-Naba, and inshallah we will see the examples from that and make it more clearer to you, inshallah. So let's read Surah An-Naba. I want you to focus on the last letter of each ayah and see how I put a sukoon on the end. And in the case of ayah number 6 all the way down to number 15, all of these, the end rule is mad iwadh, which means I will replace the Fathah and use this alif mad at the end. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم عما يتساءلون عن النبأ العظيم الذي هم فيه مختلفون كلا سيعلمون ثم كلا سيعلمون ألم نجعل الأرض مهادا والجبال أوتادا وخلقناكم أزواجا وجعلنا نومكم سباتا وجعلنا الليل لباسا وجعلنا النهار معاشا وبنينا فوقكم سبعا شدادا وجعلنا سراجا وهاجا وأنزلنا من المعصرات ماء ثجاجا لنخرج به حبا ونباتا. So all of the ones that are underlined are mad iwadh. And just to remember one thing, this mad iwadh is only when we are stopping on a Fathah Tanween. But if we are reciting the Qur'an and mad, and there is a letter with a Fathah Tanween, and we are not stopping, then of course the mad, the rule will not apply, and we will use the rules of Tanween, inshallah, which we will learn in part 4. The rules of Tanween, Noon Sakin and Tanween will apply looking at the letter that's coming after. But this mad is only when we stop on a word with a Fathah Tanween, be it in the middle of an ayah or at the end of an ayah. Okay, alhamdulillah. The next surat, I thought this is a good example, Surat Balad, for us to see how there are some ayat which end with for example, a kasra tanween in this, and also in a dhamma tanween, and also with mad iwadh. And also we have a ta marbuta. We have a few ta marbuta, some ta marbuta with a kasra tanween right at the end. Okay, right at the end, these ones. So I thought it would be a good idea to recite this just to practice, and you can observe yourself and check your recitation and see that inshallah you are putting the sukoon in the correct places. And inshallah this is just one example of mad iwadh in this surah. So inshallah you can hear it and practice inshallah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا أقسم بهذا البلد وأنت حل بهذا البلد ووالد وما ولد لقد خلقنا الإنسان في كبد أيحسب أن لن يقدر عليه أحد يقول أهلكت مالا لبدا أيحسب أن لم يره أحد ألم نجعل له عينين ولسانا وشفتين وهديناه النجدين فلاقتحم العقبة وما أدراك ما العقبة فك رقبة أو إطعام في يوم ذي مسغبة. Alhamdulillah. Inshallah, I hope the lesson was beneficial. Next lesson will be a bonus lesson for lesson 5, because we are continuing with a rule that is associated with the Tanween. So it's a very important rule, like I said in the start. Please do watch it, and inshallah it will be very beneficial. Share it, learn and teach others inshallah. So until next time inshallah we meet. Subhanak Allahumma wa bihamdik ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.